Hi, my name is John and I'm a very lucky, very blessed level 3 QHHT practitioner, and I get a lot of clients coming in and they may have something that's really weird that's happened to them, something that the logical mind just can't explain, and they want to know why. And sometimes it has something to do with their angels, and or they want to know who their angels are and their relationship to their angels. So here's a few funny stories that have popped into my mind that I'm quite happy sharing. There was one guy that came in and he remembers there was a van of them. So there's quite a few in a van and they just all wanted to get home. It was about a 17 or 18 hour drive, and there was a storm that night and he just trudged through it, and then he was almost home. They were only like 2 hours away from home, and he looked down and the van was starting to run out of gas. And he remembered that there was a petrol station not too far away, so he just prayed and he said, please let me make it to the petrol station. And it was early in the morning, it was only like 5 o'clock in the morning. So they made it to the petrol station and he pulled up to the pump and it was closed. He couldn't believe it, and they were just so tired and they just wanted to go home. So he actually prayed again. That's how tired. He wasn't very spiritual, he certainly wasn't religious, but he just really wanted to go home. And then he said as soon as he finished, he saw this truck appear coming down the street, and the truck pulled in and it was a tanker. And he said he will never forget this man. He said he was tall, he was about 6'4", 6'5", but he said when he looked into this man's eyes when he came out, and he said he had this glow about him, but he said there was something about his eyes. His eyes were really like a really deep blue. And he said he didn't look like any trucker that he had ever seen before. And he filled up their van for them, and he said, no, don't pay me, it's fine. So he gave them a full tank of gas, and then he drove off. But the funny thing was that he didn't fill up the petrol station or anything like that. He didn't know anything about that. But then when I talked to his subconscious about it, because he wanted to know what actually happened there, and his higher self said that was his angel that came and filled up that tanker. And they said we were looking down on it and it was such a beautiful experience, but we really wished that he would have followed that tanker. And I said, why? And they said because if they would have followed that tanker, the tanker would have just vanished into thin air, just gone. So that was a really beautiful experience that saved that guy. It's certainly changed his life. There was another incident where this lady, she was in a car crash and she was going too fast around a corner, and the car flipped. And as she was flipping, she heard a voice saying, let go of the steering wheel, just let go and just surrender. And so she let go of the steering wheel, and from that moment she can't remember. And she wanted to know what happened and whose that voice was. But then when she came to, there was workers up the road and they all came down. She couldn't believe it, because in the line because her car rolled over and the roof was made this line in the grass, but right in that line was a tree, a massive tree. And what happened was, right on that line, it sort of went like this, and then it went back into the line, and it went straight again. So she actually dodged the tree like it was a perfect half circle, and then it went back into line. And nobody could believe that actually happened. They said, that's impossible. So what happened there? So when we asked her subconscious about it, and it was beautiful, because what actually happened was her dad wasn't very nice to her in her current life growing up, but it was actually her dad's voice that said, let go and surrender. that very first voice that she heard was her dad's in spirit. And she just did it straight away. So what happened was she actually rolled over. She got dazed and confused there, but then it was heading straight for the tree, and then her angel just pushed the car around and just put it back like that. And it was just such a beautiful experience, and it was very purposeful why she needed to have that accident. There was stuff going on in her life, but I won't get into that because that's a bit personal. But it was definitely her angel that moved the car. And then I had another lady, she came in, and she always wanted to know what happened to her. When she was a little girl, she just found herself in a pool, and her dad actually came in and saved her. But she wanted to know how did she get in that pool, because she couldn't remember. Nothing happened. She just sort of found herself just looking up at the bottom of the pool. And what happened was, it was such a beautiful experience, because as a little girl, she felt that her dad was really, really mean to her, and she felt very unloved and very unsupported by her dad. So what her angel did was, she actually, when the girl was walking beside the pool, the angel just gave her a little bit of a nudge in the pool. She knew that she was going to be safe, but the girl felt like she was drowning and she was down, and her dad was walking past, and he was actually going to a practice, so he was all suited up, he was all in his good gear, and he saw her, and he jumped in and saved her. And from that moment on, that daughter knew how much her dad loved her. So it was a very, very important piece of her growing up. And even though he was quite hard on her, that changed her whole perspective. And it was because her angel just gave her a little push into the swimming pool. So I'm really, really, really super blessed, because I get to speak to people's angels all the time, that they come in sessions. A lot of people really want to connect to their angels, and they put it down as one of their questions in a QHHT session, and they are certainly more than welcome to come through and to give people messages or advice or even healing. I've had so many angels come in, and their subconscious has quite happily just said, okay, that's their angel's job, or Raphael's come in or something like that, and they've just sort of passed that onto their angels, and their angels have healed their body, and they've healed their body of some miraculous things. It's just been unbelievable. It's been such a beautiful experience. So that's a few experiences that I've had in my sessions. I absolutely love angels. I love talking to them. I love their energy, and they're just such beautiful and divine, energetic beings, and I just really, really love them. So thanks for listening, and always remember, be kind to others and be kind to yourself. And if you want any contact details or more information, feel free to look on the YouTube channel, or just click on the link to my website down below in the descriptions. So thanks for listening.